Welcome to Sunday's Polka price talk video where I'll take a look at MOVR, RMRK and GLMR. I'm not going to take a look at DOT or KSM in today's video because everything else pretty much moves the same as Bitcoin. So if we see MOVR's price, if we see RMRK's price and GLMR's price, we can pretty much tell that the rest of the market is not doing great in the Polka ecosystem because they all follow Bitcoin at the end of the day, right? In some ecosystems, maybe they're doing a bit better, but in most, they're pretty much struggling while we're consolidating, because this is pretty much what's happening now. It's an area of consolidation. We are trading at $54.11 at the moment on KuCoin for Moonriver. Which is not necessarily bad, but it isn't good either, right? But the good thing about it though is that we are accumulating around this area, which means that we are forming some sort of area of support, which is going to be hard to break down below, right? And unless Bitcoin dumps below 39k, but as long as Bitcoin is holding around 39k, which is also its area of support, then that would make Moonriver's area of support around $55 quite solid, or let's say between 53 and 55, because it all depends on liquidity at the end of the day, right? It's 54 now, as you can see. But of course, if some whale decides to unstake quite a lot of MOVR and just dump, let's say maybe 2k or something, then that'll of course take us to the low 50s, as you can see here, because we are lacking liquidity in that sense, right? And it would easily drop us a couple of dollars. But looking at this, like, as you can see, when we had this dump here, when we came all the way up from, what was it, 60 bucks, we dumped down to 56. We then went to around 55. We did manage to hold around there, but then we dumped to around 54. Right, and then when we dump to 54, we bounce back up here, because as you can see, this is acting as a good area of support. And then we've accumulated around this area for quite some time. We've been bearish before it went a little bit higher up to 55.50 here. Not a lot, right? Just a small push to the upside when Bitcoin went to about 40k, but then we dumped right back down. And now we are accumulating around this area, so it is forming a solid support. But remember what I told you in last Sunday's video when I said that if we accumulate around 60 for a week or so, it would make that area more solid, and so there's a good potential of going up. And if we are going up, then of course that could be good, because it would mean that 60 would turn as support, and we're unlikely going to break below it. It would take quite a lot more selling for that to happen. But now I'm seeing the opposite. I'm seeing 55, or let's say 54 to 55 become that solid area of support which we are accumulating around, right? So now if we drop below this one, it is a danger zone, because it does mean that it's going to be very hard for us to break past 54 once again if we're to go to say 50 or maybe even 45, because we had seen 45 in the past. So we really need to depend on Bitcoin here. We really need to have high hopes that it's not going to drop below 39k, and it's not going to take us below this strong area of support for Moonriver, because we really can't afford to go below it. Right, so yeah, I am a bit concerned about this now. When it comes to the bullish scenario, now we are going to struggle at 55 a little bit, because we've got some resistance here, and then we've got some resistance around 56, quite a bit of it actually. It's actually 2 days worth of resistance, which is not too solid but not too thin either, so it is going to be a bit of a struggle to break past as well. But then of course we're going to be back at the 58 area should we go bullish again, depending on what happens to Bitcoin. Swappi is the very first DEX to launch on Conflux eSpace, an EVM-compatible smart contract execution environment that allows developers to deploy and execute Ethereum-native dApps and smart contracts within the Conflux ecosystem. As an AMM-based DEX, Swappi lets users trade in a fully decentralized environment without registering or creating an account, enabling anyone to start trading within seconds. Keep in mind that in order to access any of the DEX's features, you will have to add the Conflux eSpace network details on your MetaMask wallet, but this will be done automatically when you try to connect your wallet and you receive the pop-up asking you if you want to do that. Swappi offers swaps, liquidity farming, yield farming, staking, and also has an analytics feature. For more details on Swappi, check out the links in the description of this video. Thank you for watching. Let's talk about RMRK here. RMRK is at the bearish area, which I've mentioned in last Sunday's video, around $13, right? It is struggling around, as you can see, even went to 1284. And then we pumped back up here to around 13, because to be honest, this area is not really a support here, although we did drop to it a couple of times, but because $13 is the area of support, as you can see, we did accumulate around this, right? We managed to stabilize, consolidate, and then we pumped a little bit here, but then we dropped right back down. But we quickly recovered, as you can see, because 13 is the area that it should be at, right, when it comes to support, unless we go down to the next area where it would consolidate. So yeah, like I said, we are in the bear zone now. We are at support. To me personally, if I was trading Remark right now, I'm not trading Remark right now, but if I was trading Remark right now and I had funds to trade it, I would definitely be buying around this area now, because this is support and there's only one way up, right, to around $15, I believe. That was the next area, 1480, as you can see. But we could also go down, right? So there's that risk. But to me, the probability is that we're going to go higher on the next move here, right? The next move, in my opinion, is not going to be down, but it's going to be higher, and I do think we're going to end up going to around 1480, just because we've been in this low area for so long. We've been accumulating and consolidating, so the probability that we're going to go lower is actually slimmer than going higher to retest 1480. So I do think we're going to see some whale movement, some leverage traders with Bitcoin pumping the price back up maybe to around 42, 43k, and that would take Remark back to 1480, and that's what I would be looking to sell some Remark, just because that area would be solid resistance. Look at this. I mean, this has been accumulating for quite some time here, so this is not going to be easy to break. There's no moon boy mentality here. We have to be realistic. If you're buying at $13 to $13.30, you have to sell around 1480 just to be on the safe side, because it could likely dump back down once again as we bounce off this area of resistance. We also have to keep in mind the fundamentals for Remark. That Sky Breach is not going to be launched for quite some time. So if you are trading Remark, you have to keep that in mind as well, aside from the technicals, right? If you knew that Sky Breach would actually launch very soon, then it wouldn't make much sense to sell at 1480, because with the bullish news, with the hype, it's likely going to go even higher, right? But knowing that it's going to be some time away, then yeah, it does make sense for me personally to sell around 1480 if I was to trade, if I enter the trade around this price. Now Glimmer is also in the bearish zone, 368. Okay, that is around the bearish zone that I mentioned in last Sunday's video. We are there now. We are consolidating, which is good. So we're in exactly the same position or same situation as Moonriver and Remark, in that there's more potential to the upside here than the downside. Okay, because we are in this area of support. We are holding quite okay. We're accumulating. And yeah, 380 looks like the next area of resistance, which is quite thin. We're easily going to break past that. But then the bigger one that I'm more concerned about is around $4, because we've got this area here, this area here, this area here, and this area here. So around $4 is where we're going to struggle. So if I was looking to trade Glimmer, I would buy around this area and I would sell around $4. Okay, that's been it from today's Sunday price talk video. I hope you appreciate it. Leave me a comment below telling me what you think. Have a nice Sunday, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Take care. Bye.